Hey guys, this is Corey, Matt's wife. So, what is it like to be married to a blind person? You'll have to watch to find out.
Nice.
So, what's it like to be married to a blind person? Well, it's basically the same as being married to a sighted person, only there's certain responsibilities that I feel like I have that maybe I wouldn't have if he was sighted, but maybe I would still have those responsibilities. So in general, I have a lot more privacy because he can't see me. So that's kind of a nice perk, honestly. One of the things that he can't do is drive, and so I'm the driver for our family. But you know, maybe if he could see, maybe I would still be the driver, although driving's not my best skill, so most likely he would be the driver. That being said, I don't mind. I don't mind at all being the driver. He does so many things for us. He's in charge of our finance. I mean, he's not in charge of, but like he takes care of our finances. He takes care of a lot of like our home activities like cleaning and some of the cooking, towels, laundry. I mean, he does kind of everything for us, all the outdoor stuff. So driving isn't a big deal for me in terms of responsibility. One of the things that I do that I probably honestly didn't really expect is the paperwork and the reading. So for us, I'm kind of I do like a lot of our reading. So if we get mail, I read the mail. I mean, we get mail, so I read our mail. If there's paperwork or anything to do with any kind of like documentation that we have to read, then I read it to him. And I think, I don't mind, but I think that that's just something I didn't kind of realize would be a responsibility I would have. It's just something I maybe didn't really think about before we started, like, we got married and lived together. So I think that's just something that, not like it would have changed my mind or like not like it matters, but it's just a thing that I guess I didn't know. So I'd say that's kind of a big responsibility I have, but it just doesn't matter. Although I know I can be much more patient about reading than I am. And in terms of like other things that are different, I think sometimes it's just I think about things we do differently. So like I know Matt doesn't like going to the movies because it's just not as good of an experience for him. So like I just watch less movies, and that's okay. I think about things just in general, like trying to do a better job of including him in conversation sometimes, or thinking about kind of social settings that may be better for him than others. I know like loud and crowded areas are hard for him because it's just a little bit harder to it's kind of harder for him to converse if there's a lot of like extra sound or extra people around, things like that. So we kind of avoid certain things like that. So I think that's one of the things that kind of we do differently in our relationship. But I would say, you know, I've read some blog posts and things about what it's like to be married to a blind person. And I kind of think Matt is who he is, whether he can see or not. I know he always thinks like he'd be more outgoing if he could see more. Obviously, he'd be more independent. But I think that the person he is the person that I like. And he's so motivated and hardworking. And he's so loves learning, and he does so much for us that I think whether he can see or not, I feel like those are the qualities that he has that I love, and that's why I chose to marry him. But I don't feel like his blindness puts a burden on a relationship at all, because in every relationship, everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And so to me, you know, I have weaknesses and he fills those voids, and his weaknesses I can fill. It's like a puzzle kind of. And so I think that one of the struggles maybe that I have with being married to Matt, or maybe any blind person, I don't know if it's universal or not, but just it's isolating to be blind, and socially it can be challenging because he doesn't have the same opportunities to go out socially in terms of like he works from home. And so then he doesn't have like that social kind of component that a job, like a 40-hour-a-week office job would supply. And so sometimes I think what's a little hard is like I maybe want to like stay in after work because I just was out for however many hours. And I know he really wants to go out and do stuff because that's his chance to socialize. And so that's just a thing I think that maybe would be different if he had an office job or something. But that also might just be like a personal preference. Maybe I'm just more of a home person and he's more of a going out person. But some of the things that we really agree on are like traveling. We love the exact same stuff pretty much, which is really nice. We both like to eat at home. We're good with that. We like to cook, and we like to kind of just enjoy being outside, being around. We both really like reading, so we both spend a lot of time reading. Spending time with our families is important. So I think all of those things, whether he could see or not, would be the same. But I think that maybe I kind of intuitively like look out for him more. I don't know how I'd feel if I was married to a sighted person, if I would assume I'd still care about them, so I would assume that in a way I would look out for them still. But I think maybe like if we're in the ocean, you know, I'm probably keep my eyes on him a little more, because I feel like I kind of want to make sure he's okay. I think like one of the things actually that is different, that I thought was really cute when we started dating, is that we would always hold hands. It's like, oh, this is the best. We can hold hands all the time. I love this. He likes me so much. And then it was like, well, it's a little more of a necessity than it is just to be darn cute. So I think that we spend a lot of time holding hands when we're out in public, which is totally fine. But like if we go for a run, we hold hands then too. And sometimes it's like, oh man, I could really use that other arm to get up this hill. So I think that we both, you know, that's something that's a little different, maybe obviously compared to a sighted person. We do a lot of stuff together, but I'm happy to do a lot of stuff together. I think that I have to be maybe more kind of cognizant of what's going on around me, which I think is sort of something I struggle with, because you know, thinking about other stuff in my head, and it's like, oh, I should tell him about what's going on around us. So I wish that I maybe did a better job of kind of explaining the scenery, explaining the people I see, explaining the buildings that we're like looking at. Most importantly, it's like, there's a step here, there's a tree branch. Those are the things I try my best to focus on, is like, so he doesn't get hurt. But I think about that kind of, I mean, that's a part of my job as his wife, I guess, or just as like a person who cares about him, who spends time with him. But I guess overall I would say being married to a blind person is the same as being married to a sighted person, just with certain extra responsibilities, but that's just no big deal. So I hope you like this video. It's my maiden voyage video. So if you like it, you can leave a comment. Otherwise, Matt will be back to do more videos. And please subscribe if you like the video. Blind to Billionaire is the channel name. Like or comment. Have a great day. Thank you. Bye-bye.